album, it's been like a long time coming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you put out albums all the time though, but this particular one is so different.
Yeah, it does feel like I put out stuff all the time. I put out quite a bit. I've been making music now for 20 years. I just put out an album in July 17th on Midnight at the Concord. That was a different vibe. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing now that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I just feel like now I've kind of perfected my craft and skill more so to the point that I can actually do it and do it well. So these ideas I've had for the longest time, like the Midnight at the Concord, I wanted to do that about 13 years ago, but it didn't really work out that well. Some songs on that album are actually from that album 13 years ago. So I just updated the beats and stuff like that, and then added some new shit, and just fucked with it a lot. This one is pretty much like I've been making music for a long time, but I never actually made a rap album. And it seems people want me to rap, even though like I spent the last, I say 15 years trying to figure out my sound and my spot in music. And because music's always changing, rap is fucking constantly changing. So it's like the stuff that I like about rap is no longer like in or trendy.
Yes.
So it becomes dated, right? So that's when I hung it up and was like, okay, fuck this. But then people started asking me to rap again. It became like a thing. It was not like just one or two people. It was like throughout, I'd say two solid years, there was a good portion of people that was just asking. Like, okay, that's when I made the last album, Midnight at the Concord. But because of the response in that, kind of got me excited again to rap. I was like, okay, so they just want me to rap again. It doesn't matter about following trends or shit like that. So doing this was just like a reminder of why I started making music. Rapping just has like this depth to it, and it can pull and tug on so many things. Anything that's going on in the world, hot topics, fucking personal things, depression. So many stories you could tell with rap. And I feel like in this day and age, rap doesn't do what it once did.
Yeah.
So for me to do this, it was like, and it's something that I never actually got to do. So I've been making music since I was 13. I didn't get to make that album that I always wanted to make. And it's like, I kind of finally did that. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. That's the part I love the most, that you're actually honoring like what you want to do.
Yeah.
Even though it's like years later, you're doing it. And I think that's super important, that a lot of people don't have the guts to follow that.
No, not at all. People kind of just like, fuck it, move on type of thing. But it's like, it's not even like I thought about doing it. It's not like I planned on, there was that thing I wanted to do, let me go do that. It was more so, it's just this like full circle of just bringing me back to this place of like, I like that. This reminds me of when I first started doing this. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I? And then I was like, okay, well, let's do it now. Why the fuck not?
Right. Yeah. And you mentioned trends, sure, it's not with the trend, but it reminds me a lot of when music was still good, so I really enjoyed it. Like I couldn't stop listening, right? I just listened from it back to back. So there's an interesting concept, like the melody and your lyrics. It's very interesting. So it flows very well. Some might say like it clashes a little bit, but I like it because I don't know, there's just a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Like, it makes you feel very fancy, but at the same time,
oh shit, okay.
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It felt fancy, like I should be dressed up in like a fancy restaurant.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm a thug in this restaurant type of thing.
So fucking funny you say that. That is so dope. Okay, I'll tell you why. For the longest time, I've always been told, I've always been told I'm ghetto, I'm trash and shit like that. But my friends, yeah, exactly. My friends tell me, you're a classy trash. You're a classy ghetto. The fact that you just said that, it's like, oh, bro, I did it.
That's so cool. Yeah, bang
That,
on.
that's so dope that I don't know. It's just again full circle. My friends were
Mhm.
telling me this shit when I was 16, 17. You're like a classy ghetto, and then doing the sound, bringing it back to the roots of why I started even making music. And it's nice to have that kind of what's been missing in rap music specifically. There's a certain intelligence, there's a certain type of class behind it. Like, yeah, we
Mhm.
went ghetto, yeah, we talked about street things, but yet there was a certain type of intelligence behind it. And you didn't sound like some stupid fuck off the street, like you don't wipe your ass and shit. You actually sound like you're book smart, you know your shit,
Right.
and it educates you a lot of the time. And I feel like we don't do that anymore. Kind of dumbs you down with music. So that's nice to hear, actually, that it came out that way. It's like you don't sound stupid. You sound that's
It's
nice. Shit.
yeah, it's very well done. I wanted to ask if you could explain. You mentioned VA a lot in
Yes.
pretty much every single track. So there's some
Yeah.
people that won't know what VA is. Could you tell us what VA is? Could you paint a picture with your words?
Absolutely. So VA originally, people when you hear VA, you think of like West Virginia or whatever the fuck, like where Missy and Tim are from. But VA, we have okay. So in Ottawa, there's this nice little neighborhood called Vanier. We always called it VA. It is the ghetto. It is quite ghetto. Like, yeah, all the street shit go on there. Mind you, there's different ends to the city where ghetto things happen, the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But that's just one of them. So VA is short for Vanier.
So would you say VA is like number one on the ghetto list, or where would you rate it?
Okay, so growing up, a lot of these stories that I talked about on this album was from like late 90s, early 2000s, 2004, 2005. It's kind of cleaned up since. So I
Okay.
think, anyways. It's not as bad as it used to be. Now in other areas, bro, other areas and other ends, like the South End is pretty fucking bad. There's all these different areas that are actually kind of leveling up in crime and stuff. And honestly, growing up in Vanier, though, I always tell this to people, it wasn't bad, but then it's like I don't know if I was just used to it, and or if like because I don't know, I tell my stories to other people, and they're just like, "Wow, what the fuck."
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
shouldn't have happened to you. You should have not seen that. And it's like, yeah, I agree. But
But
it,
when you live in it, you just it's like normal, right? So it doesn't face you.
it's normal, but it's also like, hey, it's not as bad as what happened to so and so. That's what I compare
Right.
it to, right? So it's like I got it good, and but then when you
Mhm.
talk to other people that kind of live that normal, sheltered life, I guess you could say, they're just blown away by my stories. I'm like, hey, shit, that's not that bad. I know so and so. This fucking happened. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of awesome WTF type of stories in your album
Oh yeah.
that I would love to, touch on. I have questions for every single song, but we don't have to go that deep if you're not comfortable.
Let's do it. Why not? Shit.
All right. So, do you want to tell me about Walk With Me? So, I feel like this was an introduction and it kind of like you're inviting people to come along for this ride of your album. Did I get that right? And if is there something else you are trying to hint at?
Absolutely, that was it. It's pretty much like buckle up, here we go. I'm gonna guide you, walk you through my stories, my experience in life thus far. That's pretty much what it was. It's just warming you up, gearing you up for
Right.
the storytelling that's about to happen.
Yeah, it was definitely a warm up for what's
Wow.
to come. I really think I definitely suggest for people to listen to this because it's a nice ride. Um, so what happened in your track? What happened?
And walk with me.
No, you're talking. Is it two or three? No, it's two, I think. You're talking about tit for tat. Is there
Oh,
examples? Is there a meaning that
so
you were?
that was. I think you're talking about still, right?
Yes, still. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, what
So
happened there?
So still was okay. So this is a little play off of what the first song I ever recorded in a studio or even wrote was a song called Still the Same. It was like 20 years ago. So
Mhm.
basically in that song, when I was like what, 12, 13, I'm just talking about how I'll never change no matter what happens. If I ever,
Yeah.
make that claim to fame type of thing, I'll always be the same. And then on the latest album, I'm in that at the Concord, there's a track called I'm Still Here. It kind of played off of that too. But then people really fucked with that song. So I was like, okay, let's just kind of keep it going. So still is basically staying like, I may have aged, I may have been doing this for a while, but I still fucking got it type of thing. And like I'm still in this
Hmm.
bitch, I'm still doing it, and I'm still going
Hmm.
at it. That's pretty much the mindset to it.
I like that you mentioned there's no contest.
Yeah,
life is a contest. It's always a contest, but there's no contest for
absolutely.
you.
It's like I said, there's still no contest. There wasn't then. There's still not any contest for me now. There's no competition in that sense. And yeah, just pretty much I play off of back in the day too. Like in the second verse, I go back to when I first started writing, making rap music in high school, and then caught the vibe type of thing, blah blah, blah, and like still going at it to this day. And it's just like I just kind of haven't stopped.
Yeah, and your last message in there was essentially that you're just getting started.
Absolutely. Even though I've been going at it for so long, it's still here, it's still doing it. I'm just getting started.
It's like a threat and a promise at the same time.
I'm coming, bitch.
Track 3 is pretty explicit. Maybe,
uh,
maybe just to me. I don't know.
that one's. I think that's You Mad, right?
So yeah, You Mad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about You Mad.
You Mad was just
Very
more.
explicit. I was like this.
Oh shit, yeah. I can get a little raunchy. Yeah, no, it's that was just more of like a freestyle, like feel vibe type of things, street things, just lyrically saying like I'm back in here and you got people mad and shit. Just play off of the fact that freestyle vibes more so. So it's just like a street track.
Yeah, you say that. However, that's one of the ones that I most felt were very classy because
Really?
of the because there's like the piano is very tasteful.
A little bit of trash on the piano,
Very high class,
yeah.
but also very explicit. So um,
Absolutely, that's nice.
I could I could definitely picture like a nice video. Like I have so many ideas. If you ever run out of ideas for like when you're
Sweet,
shooting a music video, call me.
absolutely. Always down to hear it. Shit.
um, so the fourth track, it's a very relaxing background, and that's really intriguing to me. I mean, most of them are like that, but I felt like this one was a little bit smoother,
That one's
very relaxing.
35, right?
That is 35,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That was one of the later, like the last few tracks that I wrote for the album. I'm about to turn 35, so when I this plays or when I post this, I'll be 35. This comes out on my birthday. So it was more so playing off the fact that when I was young, I didn't think I would make it past my 20s for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm 35, a lot goes on in the world, especially where I grew up. A lot of my friends aren't here anymore. They lost, to drug addictions, to killings, to stuff like that. So it's more so just me taking a sit, like sitting back and just realizing how far I've come and just appreciating the fact that I'm 35 and alive. And there's the third verse too, where I kind of talk about the state of the world um, and how we kind of should just chill more and be more appreciative and kind to each other. Hold on, my internet
Mm-hmm.
connection is unstable, so I'm just trying to. Okay, there we go. I think everything's good. Hear me?
Did you just call me unstable? No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Your internet is so unstable. That's the last thing I heard.
Oh
Unstable. I'm
shit.
like, excuse you.
Oh shit. Yeah. So basically, in the third verse, it was just more so playing off of the world, the state it's in, and just sending the message that we should be more kind to people rather than
Mhm.
magnifying people's anything at that point.
The flaws, and you mentioned your mom
Yes, I'm
in
a big
that.
mama's boy. I'm a huge mama's boy. So we always have that dream of making it somewhere, to a point of success where it's like no more worries, everything's covered, the finances, the bills, everything is taken care of, and it's like still that's a dream of mine to make it to that point. And my dad's no longer here, unfortunately. So all I have left is my mother. I still got my sister, and my nieces, mind you, but you know we had this dream of always taking care of our parents and repaying them back for the things that they've done for us, the sacrifices they made and stuff like that. So it's like they deserve it.
Yeah, where does that come from? Because nowadays, that's not most people. They don't want to take care of their parents. They're expecting their parents to take care of them forever.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? How did you where did
Um,
what installed that in you?
Shit, I don't even know. I think my family's always been very family. Like on my dad's side, very fucking family. My side, we always have like we're tight with my cousins, my aunt, my grandma. She's no longer here either, so it's like they're passing away and stuff, and I don't know. You just start to really soak in the family part as much as you can when it comes to that. But I was always brought up to be about your family, be there for your family, have your family's back, and as we get older, so do our parents. And then at one point in time, it doesn't hit us, but realistically, we're going to have to take care of our parents when someone will, if they can't take care of
Yeah.
each other, if one's not there to take care of the other during these
Hmm.
olden times, you're going to have to. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And for the people that turn their back on the parents and family or their kids and stuff like that, it's so fucked up. Just it's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
Michelle.
Oh, bro.
So 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 was this a close friend or just someone like an acquaintance?
So no, this was a friend of mine back in Vanier. We grew up together. I haven't spoken to her in years, like a long time. But
So
we
she's
were.
still around.
I hope so. Shit, yeah. Last time I googled her name, because okay, so we'll get into this. This is where it gets pretty fucking dope. So I grew up with this girl. Her name was Michelle. Is
Hmm.
Michelle? Like, I'm pretty sure she's still alive. But where we grew up, a lot of our parents, my parents were. That's why I guess I'm so thankful for them, is because I've seen what others had for parents, and I was so blessed to have my
Hmm.
family and to take care of me the way they did, to understand me, to give me room to just fuck up and still love me each day and never let go of me. So I was always so blessed in that sense. Others, some of their parents were crackheads, some of their parents were prostitutes. That doesn't make them bad. It's a different type of lifestyle.
Hmm.
Um, and so the idea of what to be was different. Others would have goals to be lawyers, police officers. My friends more so had goals to make money and make money
Hmm.
quick, make a lot
Right.
of money quick. And given that environment, a lot of them went on to doing drugs, being drug dealers or escorts. And Michelle was one who was, by the age of 12, she was an escort.
Hmm.
She was, jerking dicks for cigarettes and selling her body for shit like that.
Yeah.
So, and for the longest time, and she became the highest paid escort. So it said in the newspaper. Okay, so her and I, we kind of like parted ways. Life takes you different directions. And then for years, I think the last time I saw her was like 2006, 2007.
Okay.
And in 2000, it was either 2011 or 2012, something like that. One day I get a call and my friend calls me. I'm like, I'm sleeping. And she's like, hello. And she's like, did you see the paper? I'm like, no. Usually when you get a call, someone, hey, did you see the paper? A friend is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, no, what, who? And then she's like, it's Michelle. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no. And just knowing her lifestyle, um, right away I was like, what the fuck? So she's like, go check the newspaper right now. So I went onto the website, the Sun, and she's the front page, and she's alive, but she's just involved in an affair with one of the politicians that was from, oh my God,
Good for her.
I forget his name. But it was RPM back then. Was it Harper?
I think you're right about. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
It wasn't him, was it?
no. It was somebody from like his
Okay.
like it was someone from his camp or something, right? So it was a big thing.
Okay.
So they had like her fucking escort ad front page and shit like that, and they like went into details about how she's the highest paid escort in Ottawa. So I was like, oh, I'm so proud. Like, but okay, and then it gets better.
Yeah.
Then it gets better. She's worth like millions now because of this affair, because they were trying to keep it low key. I guess I don't know, he put something in her
Right.
name, and it's like something to do with water. Really fucked up. Anyway, so she's worth a lot of
Mm,
money, and um, I don't know what happened with that, but because of the politician or whatever that was involved in it, it was like this big scandal, this big thing in the news and shit. And anyways, she wasn't dead. She's a millionaire and she like has her own business and she gained a lot from being an escort. Like I'm so proud
yeah.
of you.
Yes.
That was
Me
shit.
too, actually. Like, I think it's actually like inspirational. And when I was listening to the track, I got a little bit scared for a moment because you said something about she got into pills.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh no, this is going bad. But then, it continued and I was like, oh, good for her. Like it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
bad boss bitch vibe. And I
yeah.
think a lot of women can take something out of this track because it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter where you come from. You can work with what you have and do something. Whether it's other people see it as good or bad, it doesn't matter. That's your business and you can create something good out
Absolutely.
of it,
That's
right?
exactly what I wanted the listener to take from it. It's just it kind of wheels you in at first because most stories that start off like this in this hood environment, it doesn't end well. There's always a sad
Hmm. Hmm.
ending to things. And so to hear it kind of change the last verse is like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was exactly me when I read the newspaper. I'm like, oh, bro, she's fucking. I still got the newspaper here in my fucking memory thing. Like, I got all the newspapers of my friends that made it into the newspaper. But she was one of the good stories with a happy ending. Last I searched of her, the guy died a couple of years back, but apparently she went on to like encouraging and inspiring, motivating girls, street girls that live that street life to do better, to have better, and that they can be better. So uh, I'm so happy for her that she took that direction and she's teaching others that
Yeah.
live that same life that it can get better.
Hmm. Hmm. I would like for you to find her and
Me
connect
too.
with her again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I
me
want to
too.
be there.
Definitely. It's been years. Yeah, last time I saw her was probably like 2006, 2007, and
I bet so many people would want to be her friend now, huh?
I bet, yeah, lots of people were
Yeah.
talking about it. Shit.
Let's jump into the next track. 6. Round and round.
Round and round, yeah.
So this is like a motivation song,
Uh,
right?
yes and no. It's more like me bitching, and then kind of just like.
You,
I think
we
it's.
have very, very different
I
views
mean,
here.
I played it for another friend, and she found it inspiring. I think what is inspiring about it is, or almost, yeah, it kind of lights a fire in someone's ass because they relate to it, to what I complain about. It's like the bills and just feeling stressed out by life, and it's just it never fucking ends, bro. I mean, the cycle just keeps going fucking round and round, and it's like, will it ever fucking stop? And it's like you make a little bit, a few steps ahead, you get knocked all the way the fuck back, and like, fuck.
The background vocals, it sounds like you, but I'm not sure if it's actually you. Is it
Oh yeah,
you?
yeah, all those vocals are me. I'm singing the hook and I'm doing the rapping. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Well,
That's really
thanks.
good. Jumping to Daydreamer.
Mm.
Do you
Yeah.
have a dream board?
I daydream all day, every day. Like, I don't stop daydreaming.
But you don't have like a physical dream board?
No, it's up here. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got my dreams.
And then another friend you lost to an overdose, right?
Quite a few. So I mentioned, so the idea of the song is basically just when you daydream a lot to escape your reality, the
Yeah,
reality
yeah.
of your life. And growing up in that type of environment, you tend to tap out quite often and just dream of something better, dream of a lifestyle or making, having success in life and being out of where you're at. Yeah, so I give a few examples of just like everything going wrong, and the amount of times I've gotten a call from people saying so and so is dead, they overdosed, fucking fentanyl and their shit. Always, that's like, it's a huge thing now. I also mentioned my neighbor Kelly, who was of the indigenous community, and she was murdered, and she was pregnant with twins. I think she was with twins. Fuck, no, she had twins, but she was pregnant anyways, and she was found naked in a park in the Gatineau side in 2000. I think it was 2007. um, Murderer was never found. So it was just like, again, the things that happen to indigenous women, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck to ever like look into it. And then I talked about a buddy of mine who killed himself, and then also for the friends who lost themselves into drugs but are still alive, but yet you feel bad for the parents because it's like they're out here living like this, and you feel for a parent when you lose your friends to drugs. The
Yeah.
ugliness. I try to paint
So
out
a
the
way of
ugliness.
coping with all this was daydreaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Ghetto. That's a
Oh,
pretty chill song. And you painted a nice picture. Like I imagined a kid riding a bike, wind through his hair, through the ghetto. Like it's like peaceful and sweet ride, but there's all these things happening around and everyone's essentially happy and smiling, right?
yeah. So it's like I wanted to give an example. Everyone always called me, well, I mean, I am ghetto, but everyone outside of the ghetto calls me ghetto, and there's always this negative to it. But it's also, I want to bring like this normal to it. It's like, hey, my childhood was very much the same as yours. Just going to school, coming home, having cartoons on the weekends and shit like that. You know what I mean? Just kind of whatever. And then going into my, teenage years, and then I kind of have staples mentioned in Vanier, like Vanier
Mm-hmm.
Grill, Eddie's, and stuff like that. Playmate stuff that it's pretty much just walking through the hood with me. Let's go for a ride type of thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just giving that vibe.
Yeah. I found it relaxing and relatable.
Wow.
I think it depends
Yeah,
where you sit in life,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I was just trying to make
Yeah.
the goal with that one was just trying to make ghetto as pretty and as I view it. There's
Yeah.
a nice, pretty light to what ghetto is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna get hurt.
Oh, somebody gonna get hurt? Yeah.
Yeah. So you're talking about girls being taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that's still happening. So,
So
just
a few doors down, I was like 15. A few doors down from me was this basement apartment where they took in like young girls, 9 to like 15, and they would bring them in, they would liquor them up, they would drug them, and they would sexually take advantage of them. So it was pretty fucked. A few of my friends
yeah.
got kind of taken advantage of in that situation. And my friend just recently reminded me of that because she was my neighbor next door, and she's like, "Remember this? And you told me not to go, and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, "That's pretty fucked up." That at that age, I'm advising you not to go somewhere because of what the fuck's going down in the basement apartment. That's fucked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's sad as shit. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I bring that, and it's just kind of like nobody did anything about it. And then I also mentioned about a 16-year-old that I don't want to get into it, but he was murdered over a bag of weed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just basically no one gives a fuck. He was Arab, so like no one gives a fuck. As long if the police didn't do much about a lot of shit, and it was just kind of creating the hood environment of somebody's gonna get hurt, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And you got all these other people out here trying to be bad, trying to be hood, and it's like, no, you don't know the reality of this shit. You're gonna get hurt. Like, chill.
Yeah. Apart from the lyrics, I noticed the melody
Mhm.
Where did you get inspiration for that particular melody? Because I don't know why it made me think of 50 Cent.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that it's his, it just made me think like it's on that level, you know, like it's very
Yeah, I think
nice.
I guess that's what I was kind of going for when rating the song because a lot of what I grew up on was that stuff. And when I think of street tracks and creating that hood environment, 50, Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, shit like that just comes to
Hmm.
mind. That's pretty much what I went for with that.
I loved it. And what I'm used to, the trumpet.
Oh yeah, that was like a chill lo-fi vibe, and I just kind of like, ah, shit.
How do you think about these things? Like, I feel like not everyone would think, oh, I'm going to incorporate a trumpet here,
Shit.
and,
Yeah,
and then rap about fuck what they say, they ain't paying your bills. You know.
yeah, pretty much. My motto is always do what you got to do, and it's like this is shit that I'm used to, and you can't tell me anything that's going to surprise me. It's kind of like everyone could be is capable of being a piece of shit, and everyone's just trying to survive in this bitch. So do what the fuck you got to do. Never mind what fucking people say. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're just trying to see it till the next day. That's pretty much it.
That was my favorite line. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there, but it's my favorite because it reminded me of my grandma. Like, she used to tell me, who cares what people say? Because I had a lot of like male friends back home, and I like to play soccer. I was a little bit of a tomboy, and people would talk, right? And she would always tell me, like, are they paying your bills?
Yeah,
No, so who
yeah,
cares, right? just
exactly,
just do you. Yeah.
exactly.
I should have started I don't want to skip 11, but
Yeah, I
it's
know the
as we have
time.
a minute remaining. I don't want to skip 11. I
Okay,
really
go for it.
wanted to talk about 12. Like,
Yeah, I
I
figured.
wanted to start with that. I am such a, like, I love gossip. I wanted to hear more about that.
Yeah, letter to my ex. That was just pretty much like my ex is still out here talking shit about me, and I'm kind of just like, whatever. I didn't do anything wrong in the fucking situation. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
gotta lie on me to make me look bad. Well, here's the fucking tea, bitch. This is what the fuck you did to me. And just imagine that's what I'm saying. Just a bunch of shit that I'm not even saying.
Right.
So you can
Right.
just imagine the shit that I'm not saying. And it's like this shit gets pretty juicy, but it's like, hey, thank you for hurting me because now I won't ever put up with shit like that again.
I
Yeah.
feel like you're letting it out for once and for all, and it's done, right?
Yeah. It's one of those moments
You
where
don't
it's
need to
like,
give it that much energy, but it's also kind of therapeutic.
absolutely. Yeah. It was one of those moments where, you shut your mouth for so long and you let someone talk about you in the most negative way possible. And you don't ever really get your chance, nor do you feel like you need to, prove your point. But at
Hmm.
some point, there's always that time, years later or whatever, you get that moment of where you're just like, no, this is what really happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, well, that makes sense.
And the way that you convey emotion in this track number 12 is so real and authentic, but also it's very relatable. I feel like a lot of people can relate to being there at some point and having PTSD from relationships that went south. Um, do you want to tell me? Do you feel comfortable talking about how this affected you? Like, you even mentioned the R word in there,
Yeah,
RAPE.
yeah.
That's that's deep.
Yeah,
Did you use it just, metaphorically, or
no,
legit?
that was actually a situation, but I feel like a lot of us experience something like that at some point in time. The number of people, friends I know that have been raped, that have, like even the amount of times it's happened to them, one person alone, it's fucking crazy. And to be in a relationship with someone and to have their friend try and take advantage of you to that extent and then blame it on you, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it may be. Imagine, put yourself in that place and they shame you for it or they blame you for it, and it's kind of, that's fucked up. And so I
Yeah.
say in that line, like, I wanted you to save me, but instead you blamed me. Like, fuck, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very well said. And for real, this person slept with someone else.
Oh, a few. Yeah, there's
A few, so it
yeah.
wasn't just one.
No, that was just the one. That's why it's like, I'm not one that you slept with that had HIV. Yeah, and it kind of, I guess in the situation alone, I'm trying to explain how, like, you can be in love with somebody, but then also be a huge fucking doormat to them. And in that sense, you lose yourself and your self-respect along with it, just trying to keep that fucking relationship. And as long as you're trying to keep it, this is just what's going to continue to fucking happen. And it just, I don't look the best in the situation. It's like, God damn, buddy, just leave the fucking relationship, you idiot. But it's like, it's so different when you're in that space and you're just trying to make it work. And then especially when dealing with a narcissist, you're made to feel like it's on you. You're the reason to why this is happening. And people don't really understand that, because once you're with a narcissist, there's the fucking mind games and the head play that they do on you, the gaslighting and shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, all of a sudden you find reason into, oh, not saying that I made excuses for why, people cheat or whatever the fuck, but it's like, it just fucks with you in a way where you kind of like, process it differently. And then it really fucks with your self-esteem. Like, it
Yeah.
beats you down. And so I think that's what I was really trying to, I'm human, I'm stupid. Love can make you really fucking dumb in a lot of situations. And we all do it. But there's a lot of times we
Yeah.
make them. So it's just, I think a lot of people can relate to it, because I guess it's just that honest and real, where it's like, I'm not trying to make myself look pretty in the situation either, or like the victim, but it's like, hey, while you're out there spreading lies about me, don't forget to tell them this fucked up shit that you did to me.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget, like you make me out to be the monster, but
Yeah.
don't forget when you made me the monster, right?
Yeah, and also it's like that shit you're saying, you better fucking own up to it and explain that, yeah, it's all bullshit and it's lies. You gotta lie on me to make me look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I don't have to. Fuck shit. I haven't been saying shit to anybody. I don't even fucking talk about you, bitch. And
Yeah.
like,
I didn't even know.
yeah, exactly. It's like we're not out here talking about you. But then, I meet new people and shit. Oh, I heard this, I heard that. And like, oh, fuck. It's always, Sammy's crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy, because when people fuck me over, they push me to a point where I break.
Yeah.
And I'm not shy to go there, bro. I'll let you know in the fucking first place when I first meet you, anybody. I'm cool as shit until you fucking piss me off. And it takes a lot, mind you. It takes a lot. It's
Yes.
not like I'm just fucking going off the wall on everybody. It's like, no, it has to be real fucking personal for me to like do something or get hurt and angry, because anger comes from a place of hurt. And as long as I'm angry, I'm hurt and shit. So
Yes. I think this track really embodies pretty much any toxic relationship, and people who have been in it get it, and those who don't get it, then good for you.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
And it also goes to show a lot about who you are. Like, I know you're calling yourself, you're dumb and you stayed and whatever, but it just, I think, represents your loyalty.
Yeah.
And how much of a big heart you are, and how grounded you are,
yeah.
and dedicated to relationships, just like you are with a family.
Yeah.
So
it could be the thing that takes you down too. It's a good quality, but it's also a bad. You got to learn how to set boundaries. I've learned that. So that's through this relationship and the recovery from it. I learned, discovered a lot about myself that goes on even beyond relationships, just all my friendships and stuff. I'm a doormat to a lot of people, and I got to set up boundaries and say, no, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to walk away and leave a situation. And you're going to hurt, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts. But staying in the situation is just going to hurt you more. And, you can talk to yourself and
exactly
out of it as much as you try to, but at the end of the day, and I said this a lot too during my time when being hurt, when someone shows you who they are, believe it.
Yes, definitely. I'm really impressed by you, not just as an artist, but also as a person.
Okay.
And I think you need to tell yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself of how others are impressed of you, but also you should be impressed of yourself. Really good work on this album.
Thank you.
What's next? now that this chapter is closed, what's coming? I know you're always up to something.
Yeah. No, I got okay. So I don't know exactly what's coming next, but I'm working on a lot. At this point, I got new artists signed on to my label, Square Media. So I got some new people to kind of push forward. They're on A Midnight at the Concord, that album, like Miss Carrie, Avelina. Shayna has her kid now, so she's not really gonna be making music, unfortunately. Maybe one day we'll try and work it out, whatever. But the main focus is just to kind of push like an army of me behind it. Like pretty much it. And we'll see where that goes.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm so honored that you took the time to do this.
Well, thank you for doing this for me. I appreciate that. And it's always a fucking pleasure talking to you. And
you too.
What's going on with your podcast?
It was on hold for a while, but now that we're doing this, I think it's like my little push to get it going again.
Good, I was hoping so, because I'm like, I haven't heard anything in a while. And it's like, come on, shit.
It's been busy, but there's some things coming, so I have to keep going.
Absolutely.
Putting things out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Always keep going. Always keep it going.
Exactly. So thank you for pushing me.
Always. And likewise, the same thing for you, pushing me and getting me into a place of making music that I enjoy making again. It's a good feeling.
Yes. I'm so stoked for it. So it's coming out when?
November 7th. So by the time people see this, it'll be out today. It's out today. Get that bitch.
Yes. Go and get it. Where can they get it?
It's available on all streaming platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, MP3. I have no fucking idea. It's anywhere. On YouTube. It's on YouTube Music.
Link in bio.
Yeah, I'll put a link in there. It's got all this shit in there, so.
Good. Love it. Thank you. Make it easy for everybody.
Absolutely.
Just click and go listen.
Absolutely.